What's going on, everyone? Thank you all for tuning in. This is a season 3 kickoff. And as you all know, it is now the Crawford Chronicles, as shown by our new shirts. That's some new swag, new apparel. So welcome. Welcome to season 3 kickoff, man. I'm one of your hosts, PK. And as always, we have Homer Chris and Sweet B Bones Bryles. Fellas, how are we feeling tonight?
Man, definitely super pumped, man. Big shout out to Browse for hooking us up with this sweet Crawford Chronicles merch. Again, I know we kind of talked offline. Uh, we've come a long way from the bathrooms and the Bluetooth in the cars to um, you know uh, having one person on here. We'd be excited if two people, watch the video, but now here we are. We definitely got our somewhat big boy shoes on. So again, ready to rock and roll with season 3. Astros spring training starting on Saturday. So I'm ready to rock and roll. Browse, how's your week going?
You said it, man. It's been fantastic. And with us kicking off season 3, I'm super excited about it. And, making the switch over from the Juice Box Heroes to the Crawford Chronicles gained a whole lot of momentum. So props to both you guys for getting that out on the social medias. We got that taken care of. So I'm looking forward to talking baseball this whole season. We've got a lot of spring training stuff to go over tonight. And we've got the new merch. So make sure to hit us up if anybody needs a shirt or something like that. PK, how about you, buddy?
Man, I'm good. I'm excited. I'm excited to kick this thing off, man. I've been pretty pumped most of the day to get going tonight. And just for a little bit of clarification to Chris's comment about we've come a long way from the bathrooms. The very first episode.
Yeah, that could have been taken the wrong way.
That's correct. The very first episode, we didn't have anything kind of what we have now, which is not much, but he was in his restroom, right? Because that was the quietest place in his house. I was in the cab of my truck on Bluetooth. That was the quietest place at my house. So the little bit of context for we're not in bathrooms doing this anymore. That sounded a little strange, but hey, look, here we are, man. We're super pumped, super excited. Thank you, Browse, again for the shirts, man. They look fantastic. Chris did a fantastic job with our graphics. Let's get into this, man. Let's get this season 3 off, man. Baseball is here. We all know new pitchers and catchers have been there for now a week. But now we're going into game 1, spring training game 1, coming up on Saturday. Colton Gordon's on the hill. We have the lineup. I'll go over it in a minute. But, guys, how pumped are you for Saturday's first spring training game?
Yeah, man. I mean, it's absolutely super duper pumped, man. I mean, like, we've been sitting here waiting. I know for us Astros fans, it's kind of been an extended wait, a wait that we're not quite used to. But again, we have Astros baseball, even if it's in the spring training form. We have it on Saturday. And yeah, man, I mean, like, any type of Astros baseball, sign me up, man. I'm ready to go.
Yeah, for sure. And Colton Gordon being on the bump, that's going to be fun to watch. He definitely helped us out in a pinch last season when we had all the injuries to our starting staff. I mean, let's not try to get. Let's put it this way: he's going to build on what he did last year. The stats weren't too fantastic, but it's okay because he really wasn't quite ready to come up. So I'm excited to see what he can do in spring training. We've talked about this pitching staff. I mean, a number of times we've got, any of almost 9 guys that could be a starter right now for the Houston Astros. And I've said it 100 times and I'll say it again. I can't wait to see what the Sugarland Space Cowboys starting rotation looks like, because whatever the Astros don't have in their rotation, that means they're going down to AAA, and that's going to be some fun stuff to watch this season. So, yeah, I'm super excited. I love spring training. From when I lived back in Arizona, we used to go to spring training every year. Unfortunately, the Astros aren't in Arizona for me, but, it is what it is. So, anyway, just looking forward to seeing it on TV and getting any kind of clips that we can. I've just been, going over social media over and over and over again, trying to find any just little nugget of, these guys throwing a bullpen or taking a BP or whatever. So,
yeah, look, I was trying to look up one of these guys' names because I don't know it. But here, let me give you the lineup for Saturday. And I don't know if you guys have seen it, but here we go. Center field is going to be Zach Cole. Second base will be Bryce Matthews. In right, Cam Smith, and left, Lo Perfido makes his return debut for the Astros. First base, DeZenzo. Third base, Whitcomb. DH is Bush. Shortstop is Allen, and Cesar Salazar behind the dish. A bunch of young guys. Cool to see DeZenzo coming back off an injury. I mean, he was hurt most of the season last year. Going to get some work in before he goes off to – who is he playing with in WBC? Italy?
Is it Italy? Yeah, I think it's Italy.
Yeah. So, but it's good to see him back. It looks like he's going to be healthy enough to play. Out of that lineup, besides probably a couple of the obvious ones, what are you looking forward to seeing from those guys in that lineup?
Me personally, I'm definitely interested to see what Bryce Matthews is going to do at second base. I know that they've talked about him moving around. I know that in 2024, I believe they had him coming up taking some reps at third base. Now the latest news is that he's going to take reps over at center field, but it looks like he's playing at second base, which means a lot of the guys are going to do their daily stuff and then probably go play golf. But hey, I'm also excited to see what DeZenzo is going to look like. I'm excited to see what Lo Perfido is going to look like. I'm good with all the young guys playing as long as the big boys are playing on March 10th. That's really all I care about.
That's a fact.
And yeah, no, I totally agree with that. And I'm assuming, Chris, that's the game you have tickets to, right?
That is correct.
Okay, yeah, I guess correctly. Okay, so I'm going to speak for myself, PK, Chris's son Benjamin, and my son Colt. I'm the most excited to see Lo Perfido back in the outfield for the Houston Astros. So with him going out in left field, I'm really hoping he has a good spring. He's a left-handed bat, guys. That's we got rid of Jesus Sanchez and shipped him off to Toronto to get Lo Perfido back. We talked about that the last episode after that trade went down, and it could have been a little bit of money, could have been a little bit of we wanted the kid back with the team control. There's a whole lot going on there, but at the same time, if he can just get that magic spark that he had in an Astros uniform again and perform through spring, you will see him on that roster starting opening day. So that's what I want to see. I want to see him go out there, absolutely ball out defense, and then hit some tank into the outfield out there in West Palm Beach. So that's what I'm excited for.
Yeah, I'd be curious to see. We talked in the offseason about what Dana Brown said about Cam Smith, right? About his consistency at the plate, be more consistent. We know about the ups and downs. Last season, obviously as a rookie, he's going to have that, right? So you want to kind of see this spring, see what he's worked on, over the offseason to have more plate discipline and kind of cut down on the inconsistencies. I mean, last spring, we all know what happened, right? He was a monster, right? And that's what springboarded him to making the team out of camp, right? So, and I know that's pretty obvious, right? And Cam Smith, like we know what that guy can do. I am happy to see DeZenzo. I think it really, I guess I'm like a really big fan of DeZenzo because I was last season too. Last season he was coming in off a winter ball and he was crushing it, and we had high hopes for him coming into the season. Then he got hurt, right? So I'm looking forward to seeing him bounce back, have a healthy spring, and see what he can do. I mean, it's game one. It's game one. Like it's for real. It's here. Colton Gordon, Braz, you talked about it. We know what that guy did for this rotation, for us, last season as part of the Band-Aid, that we had to do with the starting rotation. So good to see him back out there. But yeah, man, it's baseball season. Real games going on. Real freaking games are happening starting Saturday. I think it's 11:30. It's 11:30. It's a early game. I mean, obviously Florida's an hour ahead, so I guess it's 12:30 there. But either way, man, baseball is here. It is here. A little bit some other news, I guess, for the young guys, man. We talked about Kevin Alvarez offline. Kevin Alvarez and Ethan Fry on the backfields. There's videos out there. I think Sleeper posted a few. I mean, Alvarez hit 2 bombs in a day, right, off live pitching. Ethan Fry was barreling up balls. Alvarez got a pretty swing, man. He's got a pretty swing.
No, it's definitely probably one of the nicer swings I've seen, and I think what it kind of goes to show is that like I know that everybody, especially like all the talking heads on like Major League or the MLB Network stuff like that, they like to always kind of like, oh, the Astros have nobody in the top 100 prospects, but I feel like we've got some kids coming up that I think they're going to be good core pieces for maybe the next 4 to 5 years when they come up. That those are going to be the kids that are going to be the next core that you build the team around. So hey, I mean, Alvarez is what 18? I think he was like 18.
18.
I feel
Yeah.
like we drafted him like 4 years ago, and it's just like I saw him, and when I saw that he was 18, I was like, golly, man. So I guess we must have drafted him when he was 16. But man, yeah, that swing is nice. I think that swing is real nice, man. Browse, what do you think?
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I saw the video of Alvarez, and man, he definitely, that kid is on his way up. And you took the words out of my mouth, by the way, as far as everybody kind of dogging on our minor league system. I think it's really crazy that that's going on. And I understand, we don't have anybody in the top 100, but that's everybody else voting on that. None of us are voting on that. So I get it. But at the same time, I think our minor league system develops players better at this point than probably 25 other teams, at least, if not more than that. I mean, we do have one of the top developmental systems in all of baseball. So these guys might be a little rough around the edges when we get them. They might not be superstars when they're coming over to our system, but at the same time, they start them low and they get these guys moving. If you don't believe that, go talk to Zach Cole. Zach Cole is a guy that went basically from AA straight to the major leagues last year. I mean, don't get me wrong, he earned it. He definitely earned it. But I mean, this is a guy that was on nobody's radar, absolutely nobody's radar, unless you are an Astros fan deep into the minor league system like Chris is. So I'm telling you, even though that everybody's kind of dogging on it, I'm telling you, we definitely, most definitely are going to take kids like Alvarez, develop them, and then just go from there. So, PK, what else did you see?
Yeah, look, man, it's just a sweet swinging lefty bat, man. Right? I completely agree with the prospect. You can go back to as recent as Jacob Melton in a trade to Tampa Bay, right? And as soon as we made the trade, and as soon as Melton went over to Tampa, the dude was getting love from MLB, and he could the potential this and the potential that. But while you had him with you, right, he didn't get the love. You know what I'm saying? So I think there was a post or something about it last season and it was specifically on a Astros fan or whoever, not really giving a crap about what the rankings are for our minor league team, right? Because like you said, Bryles, we've shown time and time again that we might not have all those top 100s or, several, right? But the guys that we have are developed the right way, and they come up and they're almost immediate contributors to the squad as soon as they get up, right? So, yeah, dude, I'm excited about the young prospects. I always, that's why it's, whenever we make trades and we include the prospects, these better prospects that we have, it's always hard for me to part with. I mean, look, at the end of the day, the prospect game is a complete crapshoot, right? This kid's 18. He's hitting bombs right now. We're hoping as fans that he pans out to what we, expect it to be or want it to be, but you just never know. Same with, with any of these guys. So, but going off of what we see right now, super pumped, super excited to see. I can't wait. Probably going to be 2028, 29, right? Somewhere in there. Maybe right after you come back from the strike. You know what I mean? He'll be ready to go. So I'm pretty pumped about it, dude. I'm pretty pumped. You want to get into some Hunter Brown real quick?
Yeah.
Not good stuff, right? Yeah, let me read you the quote.
Yeah,
let me read you the quote.
Yeah, all right. I wish we had some sad music to play.
Well, you can use that. You can use that for this one and LJ on that one. Here it is. With all transparency, I love Houston. I love playing for this team, but I haven't heard anything since I was a rookie. My focus is to be the best I can be for this team this season, and that's what I'm focused on. And there was more to it. This was just out of what is this off of? SI.com, right? And essentially, to break it down, it's essentially saying I'm focused on being good, and
so I can get
this
paid.
is going to be it. So I can get
Yeah.
paid. So I can get chunk the
And
juice.
Scott Boras is my agent. That's basically
right.
what that meant. Yeah. So
we
enjoy me
must
while you have control.
enjoy the diesel while you have it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it sucks. I mean, but I think we all kind of saw the writing on the wall. Like the second he announced that Boris was his agent, I think there was a collective, oh crap.
Oh.
I mean, yeah. So I don't know. Maybe he falls in love with the city and he doesn't want to leave and the Astros do something. I mean, but that's going to be something that we'll have to discuss down the road. For now, let's just enjoy them while we have them. So,
yeah, no, I totally agree. And, PK, you even kind of brought up the strike there, which, I don't really want to talk about it too much, but I do think it is going to be inevitable, unfortunately, especially with everything that went on with Tony Clark this week and all that other kind of stuff.
That was wild, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Oh man, what a
different story for a different day, right?
Different episode.
Anyway, as far as Hunter is concerned, though, having that Scott Boras like in parentheses behind his name definitely hurts a little bit. I'm just waiting for the day that Scott Boras ends up tripping up and holds out way too long for way too much money for a bunch of guys in a row, and then everybody's like, you know what? Screw you, man. I'm going back to what I want to do and going with a good agent as opposed to somebody that's going to go, get me as much money as possible. And then all of a sudden, Kyle Tucker signs for $60 million with the Dodgers. And I'm like, damn it. Come on.
Didn't HB, whenever Pena was in kind of talks about an extension or something like that, didn't HB tell him to stop? And
yeah,
now Pena's got Boras also.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I think they were talking about an extension for some type of extension. And I don't know the exact number, but essentially Hunter, he was talking to Hunter Brown about it, and Hunter Brown was like, "Hey, let me make a phone call real quick." So I guess he calls Boras. Boras gets a hold of Pena and says, "Yeah, stop talking. I can get you more money." So cue the sad music. Let's also enjoy the Jeremy Pena while we have him.
Well, and also keep in mind, like the reason we got Yordan Alvarez on such a sweet deal, when he was basically young, controllable, and still had years of control under the Astros was he had a really odd family situation. And Crane helped him out. Crane went and got his entire family, brought him over here, gave him the money, to actually take care of his whole family. And he was very, very thankful for it. So that was a very unique situation that you're not going to see with a whole lot of players. So I think us as Astros fans can't expect every single one of these extensions for our superstars to end up being like a Yordan Alvarez kind of a deal. It's going to have to be one of these days, we're going to have to pay somebody. And I do understand that Crane was trying to avoid that luxury tax for 3 years in a row where you get the extra penalty on top of that. So maybe this year we go, right there, dancing that razor blade right on the line. And then maybe next year or the year after that, we end up spending a little bit more money to keep these guys because Hunter Brown and Pena are definitely two dudes you want to keep in an Astros uniform.
Well, you stole Alvarez with that extension. You stole him.
Yeah.
Like 6 years, 100 or something like that.
Yeah, he's making like 19 a year.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, you have some wiggle room. I think last time I saw before the Sanchez trade, I think they were like 10 million underneath the CBT. Then you add the 6 or 7 million they saved from Sanchez. Now they're like 17. But to make another fantastic segue, you have somebody's money coming off the books after this season. And if I had any emo music, I would play it because that is the one Lance McCullers. And he was interviewed a couple days ago, and it was a very like I said, when I heard it, the only thing I would say is that if the only thing that would have made it more emo is if he had the My Chemical Romance playing in the background, because it was one of those like, I just want to do good. And like I said, I'm not trying to dog on him because I really truly feel that he wants to do good for the Astros. I would assume that he of all people knows that like 4 years of that extension basically he got paid to be on the injured reserve, and I'm pretty positive if you ask him or if you ask any player, they would rather be playing than than being known as injury prone, because that will affect him depending on also what he does this season is going to affect him as well. But it was just a very like somber and sad like interview
Dude, it
that
was
McCullers did. So
terrible.
I'm kind of rooting for him. I kind of want him to have at
Yeah.
least one good year. If we bring him back on like a 1-year deal, I doubt it. It's just, yeah. I mean, like, I get it. I feel like if Lance McCullers falls off, I feel like you just bite the bullet and move on. But all I gotta say is that it's gonna suck to be a free agent coming into next offseason. That's all I'm gonna say. Like, what a time to be a free agent.
That is not what you want.
You better get a deal done like right as the off season, because I think they have until like mid-December or something like that until the CBT ends. So you're going to see a lot of those people making those sign-ins right before the lockout starts. But yeah, Bryles, did you get to see the My Chemical McCullers interview?
I did, and you know what? I felt like it was heartfelt. You know what I mean? And I get it. The dude like went out there and was just like, "Hey, look." He basically said, "Hey, look, I sucked. I've been injured and I sucked, and I want to come out and play. It'd be good for the team. It'd be good for the city of Houston." So I totally understand where he's coming from. I mean, if I was a professional baseball player and I was in that same situation, hell yeah, I'd want to be right there. I would want to be going to representing the H. What did he say? Bury me in the H, right? So, I mean, yeah, I totally understand where he's coming from on that. It was a little on the somber side, though. You're right. I was hoping for something a little bit more upbeat. But, hey, like you pointed out, if some way, somehow, if he goes out there and goes lights out this season and we've only got a little bit of a lockout, then, hey, there's a great possibility we could bring him back on like a 1-year sweetheart deal. Who knows?
Yeah, when I heard it, it just goes back to that. Father Time's undefeated. That's one, right? And two, like his brain is telling him, like, I got it, I can still do it, but his body is just saying, "No, man, cool story. Like we've been through it, And so I can only imagine what it's like as a professional athlete to have that mindset of, I know I can do it. I know the type of player that I am or was, but then have your body go the complete opposite way, right? I mean, he's topping out in low 90s, like low 90s fastball. That's just not gonna. It's just not gonna cut it. And whether or not he, those 4 years, like whether or not he had those 4 years of being injured and had all that money, like he is a professional athlete. He, like Bros, like you said, we all know he would much rather be out there contributing and not getting shelled by the White Sox at home in a regular season game. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
I think it sounds like he's just at peace with it, but it almost sounds like I was listening to 610 a day, and they were talking about it, and they were saying it almost sounds like he's trying to talk himself into continuing to play, right? Because that's the somberness of that interview. But I mean, it's LMJ, right? We know this dude. We talked about it before. Like we've critiqued it, and said our piece, but we know that what this guy's meant to his organization. When he was healthy and the arm that he had, and what was like 21 curveballs in a row that weren't hit. You know what I mean? Like the dude was a beast, and his elbow failed him, right? And potentially getting rushed back. I mean, I don't know, right? But given the track record of our medical staff the last couple of seasons, he could have been pushed back a little bit, pushed to come back a little bit earlier. It's still at the end of the day, man, it sucks. I feel bad for him. Of course, I agree. Browse also, like, I hope this is his last year. This is his last year with the Astros, period, end of story, right? And I hope that he goes out and balls out the best that his arm will let him do it, and let him go out at least on a high note, from that perspective. I mean, the dude's got 2 rings, contributed to one, got shelled in the second. But when he got shelled in the second one, that was a team move, right? Because he stayed in there and got shelled, and Baker left him in so that he didn't have to go to the bullpen. and he didn't bitch, and he didn't moan. He just kept going out there and got shelled. So I'm hoping for the best for the man. I really am. But you got, Chris. I know you're chomping at the bit.
Yeah. And let's not look past how great he pitched in that game 3 against the Mariners. I mean, essentially, he threw 6 or 7 shutout innings. That was the 18-inning game.
Yeah,
I think that all jokes aside, regardless of how this season goes for Lance McCullers, he's going to be one of those guys. At least I would like to assume that most Astros fans, if not all Astros fans, he will be in that category of, regardless of how this season ends, he will never have to buy a beer in the city of Houston. That's what I honestly think. I mean, like I said, I know everybody jokes. Yeah, I mean, we all joke around about how he's a barista and all that, but I can only imagine how shitty it must feel for your mind and your heart and your spirit to want to keep going, but your body's telling you, listen, I know you're not 38, but our body was only meant to do this for a certain period of time. So, yeah, I mean, like, it's got to suck. I mean, like, like I said, it's easy for us to critique not being in that situation, but I mean, like, I'm willing to say that regardless of whatever happens, either really bad, really good, meh, whatever, he should never have to buy a beer in the city of Houston anytime he comes to Houston if he doesn't live in Houston. So
agreed.
That's just my last 2 cents on Lance McCullers, and I wish him the best for this season. Yeah, go buy his coffee. I don't even know if you could buy his coffee. Is he selling online?
I don't even know what the name of his coffee place is. I have no idea. So
it was a terrible.
Now we got
plug.
homework for the next season.
Well, he didn't
for the next episode.
He wasn't paying me for that plug. So
yeah.
Oh, hey, to go back, the DH is Will Bush. Just in case.
Will Bush.
Yeah. Just in case you're
I don't
curious.
know who that is.
I was going to say, let's go to our minor league correspondent, Chris.
Let's
Moreno on that one.
Last year, let's see. Last October was assigned to the Scottsdale Scorpions. In August 25 was assigned to Corpus Christi. Corpus Christi from Asheville. 25, he was invited non-roster to spring training by the Astros. So it looks like he's been with us for at least since 23. Assigned to the FCL Astros, Fayetteville Woodpeckers, and so on and so forth. So it's not like he's been with us for a minute.
Here we go. There's our correspondent from the Corpus Christi area. There you go.
That's what I'm talking about. That's the fam.
John on
the
cue.
Fam knows.
There you go.
If we need information about the Corpus Christi Hooks, this is the guy. Even on Facebook, even when he's not trying to help us out, he has all the
He
hooks.
helps us out.
We got all the info from the Hooks. All the info for the Hooks. So
the question is, are they going to show this spring training game on the Space City Home Network streaming app now? Because I know they said they're going to show 11.
The app? Did you get the app?
I have the app. I haven't paid for it yet, but I have it.
No, I haven't. I haven't paid for it yet either.
Yeah.
That makes 3 of us.
Yeah.
Way to lead by example, guys. Way to lead by example.
Good job, guys. Way to pimp that out.
Yeah. So, like I said, I don't know. I know they said they're going to show 11 spring training games. I don't know if I would assume the first one would be on it, but yeah,
it would be really cool if it was on it because I'm going to be inside of a volleyball gym at that time. So if I could watch it, that would be fantastic. So I'll do some research between now and Saturday and see if it's going to be on the app.
I like it.
But yeah, man. I think this is going to take us to the end of this one, man. I want to thank everyone for tuning in to the season 3 kickoff of the Crawford Chronicles. We're super pumped super pumped to get into this with everybody. Look, just in case y'all don't know, we after every home game or after every game this season, we're going to be jumping on. At least one of us will, and we'll do a quick recap of that game. We're going to have more content out going for this season, man. So we're really looking forward to that. But thanks again for tuning in. Thanks again for supporting. We'll be back on Sunday. This is the Crawford Chronicles. I'm PK. Homer Chris. Sweet B Bones. Martinez down the south. Give us some more Hooks info for next one. We'll holla at y'all. Have a good weekend.
Welcome,
baby.
Hit that overlay.
Bam, there we go. I forgot that I was in charge of that one.
We'll let the Conforto news play out a little bit more before we
Yeah,
get
but
into
do we
that.
really want to talk about Michael Conforto?
No.
Really?
Not
No,
really.
we
if,
don't.
I feel like if
Not
we say
really.
his name too many times, he'll appear.
Yeah, let's not. Let's not do that. Let's not even. Yeah, I can't believe I mean, I know we need a look, but good